Memo she married another, but his heart never moved on. In the quiet town of Meadow Hill, where the roads were lined with maple trees and the sunsets painted the skies golden, lived a boy named Aiden. From his school days he was known for his silence, his poetry, and one other thing: his love for Emily. Emily was the girl everyone noticed. Bright eyes, infectious laughter, and a kindness that made strangers feel like friends. But Aiden didn't love her for any of that. He loved her for the way she paused while speaking when she was nervous. He loved the way she looked at the sky before answering a tough question. He loved her not just for who she was, but for who he became when he was around her. They had been best friends since they were 12. Time passed and so did school. Aiden and Emily drifted closer over the years, their connection undeniable. Everyone in town thought they were already a couple, though they had never confessed. Aiden believed there was time, more time to tell her to hold her hand to make her his. But sometimes life moves quicker than the heart. One winter evening she came to see him. She sat on the bench in his backyard where they had carved their names as teenagers. Her hands were cold. Her eyes softer than usual. "I'm getting married, Aiden," she whispered. He laughed, thinking she was joking. But her eyes didn't smile. "To who?" he asked, though the question tasted bitter. "Daniel. We've been dating for a while. I didn't know how to tell you." His world cracked in that moment. The air around him turned silent. He had never hated time more than he did now. For running too fast, for not pausing when he needed it most. I thought we had something," he said. Emily looked down, tears in her eyes. "We did. Maybe we still do. But you never said it, Aiden. And I waited. I waited for years." His voice trembled. "I didn't want to lose you." "You already did," she said, standing up, leaving behind the echoes of an almost love story. The day she married Daniel, Aiden watched from afar. He stood beyond the church fence, dressed in a shirt she once complimented. The bells rang, and Emily smiled brighter than he had ever seen. He smiled too, for her, even if it killed something inside him. Years passed. Aiden never married, never moved to a new town, never stopped writing poetry, every poem ending with her name. People called him foolish, even cursed him for wasting his life on a woman who never chose him. But he never saw it that way. She was his muse, his ache, and his comfort. Every once in a while he'd see her at the market. She'd smile, he'd nod, and both would pretend the past never existed. But every time, their eyes said everything their lips didn't. Daniel passed away in an accident 5 years into their marriage. Emily was broken, and Aiden, like a shadow, appeared, helping her with groceries, fixing her fence, and once again, sitting with her under the old maple tree where their names still lived. "You never moved on, did you?" she asked him one evening. He smiled faintly. "I couldn't. Some hearts are wired for only one person." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "And mine was too late." They spent the next decade as friends again, laughing, drinking tea, watching the seasons change like they once did as kids. But time, cruel as always, didn't stop. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Aiden's breathing grew shallow. He lay on his bed, surrounded by books and memories, and poems never published. Emily held his hand. He looked at her, eyes glassy but full of peace. "I loved you in silence, Emily. But I loved you fully." She kissed his forehead. "And I loved you, Aiden. I always did. I just didn't know how to show it then." With a tear in his eye and a smile on his lips, Aiden closed his eyes forever. At his funeral, Emily placed a note in his coffin. It read, "He never moved on. And I never moved in time. Histori que promo den."